The first thing that I'm going to say about in-person presentation is making sure that you communicate clearly to other people. And when you communicate clearly to other people, they notice that you are around them as well. You don't always have to lead a conversation, but it's important to let other people know that you are involved as well. You need to realize that most people that don't really talk, they just assume that you don't want to talk with them, and that could be completely opposite to what you're trying to do. And my second point is to realize that you can't control what people do or say. Instead, you need to focus on what you can control. You can control the amount of time you spend with people, you can control where you're going, and even your environment as well. Here is the last two things that I'm going to say if you want to present yourself in the best way possible when it comes to in-person. Because you need to realize sometimes when you meet people for the first time, your time gets cut short because either you're busy or someone else is busy. And when it comes to in-person, it's very unpredictable because you're then meeting that person for the first time. You just need to know how you come across to other people. Like, for example, are your arms folded? Do you keep looking away when people talk to you? These are the simple things that you just have to realize. Because if your arms are folded, if you're in the corner of a room, or you're not giving people eye contact when you're talking with them, you're basically giving the impression that you don't want to talk to them at all. And when it comes to meeting people, you need to know what you want to get out of a conversation. And for example, you need to remember people's names. You can always schedule another time to actually meet someone. When you are meeting other people in person, you want to give them your full attention. And by giving them your full attention, you just want to make sure that you ask them questions, you give them eye contact. And there's nothing wrong with a friendly smile as well. And basically, just by smiling more, it makes you more approachable. And it doesn't mean do it all the time, but whenever you can. And that's why you don't want to give a neutral face, because if you give a neutral face all the time, you can't seem to have a good time around other people. And the thing is, people can't read your mind, people can't read what you're thinking, and they shouldn't have to. And I wanted to say that energy is transferred and it's not really restored. So that's why you need to put your energy into the right people and to be as genuine as possible. People are more likely to be around you more. The way that you respond to people in person, you just need to give them your full attention, to respond back fast, and even if you don't know what you're saying, to at least think of something funny. Because even if you're not funny, you can just say something. I wanted to say that everyone makes mistakes, and if you can laugh at your own mistakes, people are more likely to like you more, because you're not really trying to be a perfectionist all the time. And I wanted to say, if you meet people in person and you do everything that I just said, if you put in the extra effort, people are going to remember you more, even if you do meet them again for the second time. I wanted to say, when it comes to really online, it's very different to in person. And the first thing that I'm going to say is because people, they take more photos and they take more videos. And I'm not saying that everyone does this, because not everyone has the time to do this. But when it comes to really online, you can make your photos look better. And for example, you don't need to edit your photos all the time, but you just need to be in more nicer places. And for example, like mirror selfies, it's done many times. I've done it before. It doesn't help at all because people would just think that you're always like looking at yourself in the mirror. And that might not be the case because you might be a person that likes to go outside a lot, but then you don't actually take the pictures to prove it. And that's what I wanted to say, because if you don't have time to meet people in person, the only option that you really have is speaking to people online. I wanted to say, when it comes to online, because you don't have the time to talk to people in person, you are more likely to talk to multiple people at once. And there's nothing wrong with that, but when it comes to really online, you have to narrow down your options more. And that's why when it comes to in person and online, it's very different. If you have 3 to 5 good photos, you can keep them. But then you need to realize as well that when it comes to really online, you are going to have to change your photos over and over again. And that's why you have to make sure you're taking care of your appearance. You know, for example, if you change your hairstyle, if you change your clothing style, or you start to look different in terms of your appearance, anything that you change in your appearance, that's why you have to keep replacing the photos every few months. And if you look the same, then you have nothing really to worry about, because you need just like 3 to 5 good photos, only so people can know who you are through like your clothing style. And you need to realize as well, not that you have to care what people think about you all the time, but when it comes to really your photos, you want to present yourself in the best way possible. And you want to make sure that your photos are not like years ago, but instead they're very recent. And I wanted to say, you need photos that are just you. And I can't stress that enough, because people, they'll have photos with other people in it all the time. And it's hard for people to see which one is you, because maybe you look alike, maybe you have the same style. And that's why if you're in a photo with a group of people, it doesn't matter like what people think about it at all, but then you need to have your own style so that you stand out. Here is the last 2 things that I'm going to say about presenting yourself online and in person. It is based on how you look like and how you sound like. And that's why when it comes to really online, it's really about lighting. Because when it comes to lighting, it makes you look good, it makes you feel better. And that's why when it comes to lighting, you want to clear your skin as much as you can. And that's why I don't eat certain foods, because I know I'll break out. When it comes to presenting yourself online, it's important to have clear skin and to make sure that when it comes to lighting, you highlight your best features. Because when you have a photo with good lighting, you can't really deny that you're glowing. And that's very important, because you need to make sure you're looking your best, you're feeling your best, you know more about your camera angles. I was going to say, when it comes to photos with good lighting, you have those photos and you put them aside, but then you have photos of when you have no lighting, and then you put them on the other side so that you can compare them both. And the last thing that I'm going to say is just to really practice. Because the more that you practice, the more that you're going to get better at it. And I was going to say, for people that don't take photos, or people that don't take videos, people that take videos and they think it's strange, the thing is, if you at least do it yourself, you can at least do it by yourself where no one's watching. And then over time, when you have the confidence to do so, you can then show other people. My hands are hurting. I wanted to say this before I end the video. For just in case anyone is like the opposite, where they are confident to meet people online or in person, I'm going to say this. So for example, if you're confident with meeting people online or in person, and you're able to do both, you just need to manage your time better. And that's something that I want you to take away from this video. Because for example, this is going to take a lot of time. It's important to at least learn from other people and to put this into practice for yourself. And it's about the best version of yourself. And there's always something that people can improve on. It's just that sometimes it can be very hard to admit, and it can be a hard pill to swallow. And thank you for watching, and you can like this video as well. And that's all I got to say, and until another video, I'll see you again soon.